Good morning, America. For our viewers in the West, the President-elect's trip to Washington, a possible breast cancer vaccine, and the stars born live on our air more than 20 years ago, well, they are back. President-elect Trump tapping Republican firebrand and staunch loyalist Matt Gaetz for Attorney General. The Florida congressman resigning from the House, ending an investigation by the Ethics Committee. Plus, why Tulsi Gabbard could also face tough questions as Republicans hold on to the House, completing their sweep.
Brush fire erupts in New York City. This morning, we're tracking the East Coast blazes and the hundreds of firefighters battling them.
A new alert concerning your yard, with so much of the country experiencing drought. This morning, the danger from falling trees and what's in the drop zone.
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God!
Breakthrough, the new hope in the fight against breast cancer, the latest on a vaccine.
We're also going to take a look at two new studies about the benefits of popular weight loss drugs. And we're going to hear from Patrick Mahomes. He's speaking about his home being burglarized as police also investigate a break-in at Travis Kelce's home.
It's a busy morning, and we're going to get right to the latest on President-elect Trump announcing more key nominations for his new administration, including Matt Gaetz for Attorney General. Rachel Scott tracking all the reaction for us there on Capitol Hill. Good morning to you, Rachel.
Hey, Robin, good morning to you. Yes, this one catching some here on Capitol Hill off guard. House Republicans were meeting behind closed doors when President-elect Donald Trump announced that he would be selecting Congressman Matt Gaetz to be his next Attorney General. I'm told there was an audible gasp in the room, and now there are serious questions about whether he has enough support to be confirmed in the Senate. This morning, Donald Trump's pick for Attorney General, sending shockwaves through Washington. The president-elect nominating Republican firebrand and staunch loyalist Matt Gaetz to one of the most influential jobs in his cabinet.
He's really a great person, and he's on the controversial side, but that's not bad.
If confirmed, Gaetz would lead the Department of Justice, which for years also led an investigation into Gaetz for alleged obstruction of justice and for alleged sex trafficking. The DOJ ultimately closing the investigation without bringing any charges. But Gaetz was also facing another investigation by the House Ethics Committee for alleged sexual misconduct and illicit drug use, allegations he denies. Overnight, that investigation brought to a halt when Gaetz suddenly resigned.
If Matt has resigned and is no longer a member of Congress, the ethics investigation will cease and no report will be issued at that point.
Sources say the committee was ready to meet this week to deliberate over whether to release a report. His resignation also complicating an already narrow majority in the House for Republicans. Trump has now nominated 3 members to serve in his administration.
I have begged and pleaded with the new president enough already. Okay, but because our numbers are small.
The announcement shocking fellow Republicans.
I just think it's silly. I believe that the president is probably rewarding him for being such a loyal soldier to the president. But the president is smart enough and his team is smart enough to know that Mr. Gaetz will never get confirmed by the Senate whatsoever.
Some GOP senators making it clear this is far from a done deal.
I don't think it's a serious nomination for the Attorney General. We need to have a serious Attorney General, and I'm looking forward to the opportunity to consider somebody that is serious. This one was not on my bingo card.
And Gaetz is not the only nominee who could face challenges. His choice for defense secretary, Fox News host and veteran Pete Hegseth, said this about women serving in combat.
I'm straight up just saying we should not have women in combat roles.
What do you make of some of his past comments, though, suggesting that women shouldn't serve in combat roles?
Well, I think he'll have to answer what he meant by that.
For Director of National Intelligence, the president-elect naming former Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard, who switched parties and became one of his most loyal supporters. She has no intelligence experience and will face tough questions over her meeting with Syrian dictator Bashar al-Assad and whether she's too sympathetic to Russia. As Trump presses forward with the transition, he returned to Washington, meeting with President Biden in the Oval Office, shaking hands.
Welcome. Thank you very much. And thank you very much. And politics is tough, and it's in many cases not a very nice world, but it is a nice world today, and I appreciate it very much. A transition that's so smooth, it'll be as smooth as it can get, and I very much appreciate that, Jim.
You're welcome. Thank you all.
The House Ethics Committee declined to comment on our reporting. This morning, sources are telling us that President-elect Donald Trump is considering tapping his top defense attorney, Todd Blanche, to be the Deputy Attorney General. This is the second highest position in the Justice Department. Blanche was on his defense teams for that hush money trial there in New York City, as well as the federal investigations also here in Washington, Robin.
And Rachel, we know there has been a significant change in Senate leadership.
Yeah, John Thune of South Dakota will be the next Senate Majority Leader here on Capitol Hill. Mitch McConnell stepping down after 18 years in leadership. Thune has been critical of President-elect Donald Trump in the past, but he did say he wants to work closely with him to get his agenda across the finish line. I asked Thune, though, about one of Donald Trump's key demands, that the next Senate Majority Leader support so-called recess appointments. Now, this would allow Donald Trump to push through his cabinet picks over an extended Senate recess without any confirmation hearings. Thune telling me that all options are on the table, but this is important because this could help someone as controversial as Matt Gaetz get across the finish line in the Senate, Robin.
We'll keep that in mind. Thank you for your reporting, Rachel. George?
Okay, Robin, let's get more on this now from our chief Washington correspondent, Jon Karl. And John, let's pick up where Rachel just left off. The president-elect is really testing the loyalty of this new Republican leadership. Each of these three nominees, and I want to put them up right there, Tulsi Gabbard, Matt Gaetz, and Pete Hegseth, has courted real controversy and raised real questions about whether they have the right experience for the job.
George, these nominees are more controversial than any Donald Trump made the first time around. In fact, they're more controversial than any I have seen in some 30 years covering Congress. And you hear a lot of people, Republicans, whispering, some, as you heard in Rachel's story, saying out loud they think that Matt Gaetz in particular will not be confirmed. I'm not so sure about that. I know this, that the former president, future president, is, I am told by people very close to him, determined to push this through the Senate confirmation process, to portray it as a test for Republican senators, especially the new majority leader, or the soon-to-be majority leader, John Thune, about how loyal they are to Trump's agenda. Will they give him deference in making his cabinet appointments? They will be under enormous pressure, not just from Trump, but the entire MAGA ecosystem. The influencers on the outside will be pushing this very, very hard. So I would not rule out that even somebody as controversial as Matt Gaetz could get through a Senate confirmation process.
That's the normal confirmation process. I guess that's one of the questions, though. Do these candidates go through the normal confirmation process, or does the president even try these recess appointments?
Well, first, I am told that he is going to push this through the normal confirmation process. But if he doesn't succeed there, if it's clear that any of them or all of them cannot get confirmed, he does have that nuclear option of forcing Thune, pressuring Thune, and Johnson, Speaker Johnson would have to go along as well, to declare a congressional recess. It is a recess that would have to last, George, at least 10 days for him to make these appointments. That means nothing in terms of the rest of the Trump agenda could go through Congress during that time. And more importantly, this would mean that John Thune, in one of his first acts as majority leader, would have to be ceding the power, one of the most cherished powers of the United States Senate, that of advise and consent to President Trump. You might say it's the dictator on day one strategy. It'll be very interesting to see if Thune, I know he is saying all options are on the table, but he would be under enormous pressure not to do that.
Jon Karl, thanks very much. Michael?
All right, thank you, George. We're going to go now to the wildfire emergency on the East Coast. The Jennings Creek fire in New Jersey is now 50% contained, and there was a new fire here in Manhattan. Ariel Reshef is live on the scene for us, and Ariel, firefighters have taken control of this brush fire.
They have, Michael. That is the good news. But fire crews were here overnight in this park in Upper Manhattan. We have still seen some hot spots in the heavily wooded areas as early as this morning. And I can tell you, I still smell smoke in the air. This morning, hundreds of firefighters battling multiple brush fires in the east. Plumes of smoke blanketing the tip of Manhattan from the 3-alarm Inwood Hill fire, fueled by bone-dry conditions and gusty winds.
I've lived here for about 40 years. It makes me want to cry. I've never seen anything like this.
The smell of smoke is thick in the air. It is affecting air quality. You can see dozens of FDNY crews are here on scene. Firefighters staging in this area, launching drones, doing everything they can to put this out. Officials say the steep terrain is their biggest challenge.
150 plus feet to climb up that hill with hose lines is extremely dangerous for us.
This as the deadly Jennings Creek fire blazes on for its 6th day, burning across the New York and New Jersey state border. More than 4,300 acres charred, 50% contained. The dry spell in the Northeast making it even harder to combat these wildfires. New Jersey officials issuing a drought warning. And of course, to show you just how difficult this has been for the firefighters all along the Northeast, this is a hot spot that you can see this morning. And this brush is so brittle. It is so dry. It is perfect fuel for these wildfires, Robin, and it doesn't take much to set them off.
All right, Ariel, thank you. And Ginger's tracking the elevated fire risks in parts of the Northeast and the new tropical threat that is gaining strength in the Caribbean.
Yeah, we got both ends here to talk about. So let's start with the part that people are saying to me, it's very giving California, but here we are in Manhattan talking about wildfires, and in New Jersey and in Hartford, Connecticut, where they're 9 inches below average for fall alone when it comes to a deficit of rain. We desperately need rain. Rain's out there. It's raining in Cleveland, but by the time it moves east, it dies. That's why, as a forecaster, you're taught drought begets drought. Don't forecast rain in a drought, and that's why, because it will evaporate right away. They're coming through these fronts dry, and that just means more wind. So we've got elevated fire danger in Vermont, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, and then we got to look at the tropics, because what will become Sarah is going to skirt Honduras here through the weekend. And it's going to take its time, kind of make it through that bay, and then eventually into the Yucatan Peninsula. Where it goes after that is highly dependent on that high pressure system and an incoming trough. That's going to have a lot of cold air for a lot of the nation, by the way. But what it'll do is steer it right into Florida, whatever is left of it. We will have much more updates as it gets a little bit closer, George.
Okay, Ginger, thanks. We return now to the arrest of a CIA employee charged with leaking secret information about Israel's plans to attack Iran. Chief Justice correspondent Pierre Thomas has the details. Good morning, Pierre.
George, good morning. ABC News has learned that a CIA employee has been charged in connection with the recent leak of classified information involving Israeli military plans to retaliate against Iran. Israel's military secrets, including specifics about the nature and scale of their planned missile assault, were posted on the internet in mid-October, just days before the eventual attack. Asif William Rahman was arrested by FBI agents in Cambodia and brought to Guam on November 12th, charged with illegally obtaining and then revealing classified information that could damage U.S. national security. If convicted, Rahman faces up to 20 years in prison. His arrest came on the same day as the resolution of another significant case involving mishandling classified documents. Massachusetts Air National Guardsman Jack Tahara was sentenced to 15 years in prison for leaking highly classified information. What's disturbing is that in both cases, these personnel had direct access to some of the nation's most sensitive secrets. Michael?
All right, Pierre, thank you for that. And we're going to turn now to another civil lawsuit against Sean Diddy Combs. This one is seeking $5 million for an alleged armed confrontation dating back nearly 30 years. Our senior investigative correspondent, Aaron Katersky, is here with more for us. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning, Michael. Sean Combs is now facing nearly 3 dozen civil lawsuits. This latest one's a little different. It does not allege sex assault, but an assault with guns. This morning, a man is suing Sean Diddy Combs for $5 million to compensate him for what he alleges was an armed confrontation. DeWitt Gilmore says he was leaving a New York City club in 1996 when Combs and his associates pulled up in a gold convertible and started taunting him with derogatory language and threats of violence. His lawsuit says the music mogul's associates flashed guns and shots were fired. Representatives for Combs did not immediately respond, but they have denied all of the other civil lawsuits that have alleged sexual assault. A woman who filed one of those has now revealed her identity after the judge rejected her request to remain anonymous. Candace McCrary was 19 and in college in Brooklyn when she alleges Combs sexually assaulted her after a photo shoot.
This decision by this judge may have a chilling effect in that other people who want to go anonymous in their lawsuits against Sean Combs may think twice in terms of filing a lawsuit themselves.
More money, more problems. It's just the way it is.
And this morning, a former member of Combs' inner circle is speaking out. Diddy's rap protege, Moses Shine Barrow, was with him and his then-girlfriend Jennifer Lopez the night a gun went off inside a Manhattan club. Diddy was acquitted in the case, but Shine was convicted of assault, sentenced to 10 years in prison, and deported to his native Belize. Shine telling Nightline co-anchor Byron Pitts Combs orchestrated for him to take the fall.
Someone that was prepared to have me sit in jail I was facing 25 years, to totally destroy my career, destroy my life, rob me of my freedom, to be a participant in that. Of course, it doesn't surprise me that he would be accused of the atrocious things that he is, because, what he did to me and my family, was to me demonic.
Combs' representatives say Mr. Combs categorically denies Mr. Barrow's allegations, including any suggestion that he orchestrated Mr. Barrow to take the fall. They added he appreciates the path Mr. Barrow has pursued and wishes him continued success. You can hear more of the story in the documentary The Honorable Shine, premiering Monday, November 18th on Hulu. And as for Combs, guys, he is still fighting for release on bail. There's a hearing about that next week.
Okay, Aaron, thanks very much. We're going to turn now to a new way to save online. Amazon is launching a discount web store where everything costs $20 or less. Chief Business Correspondent Rebecca Jarvis here with the details. Good morning, Rebecca.
Good morning to you, George. It is called Amazon Haul. It's promising crazy low prices on everything from clothes to electronics to home goods. And the idea here is to compete with discount web stores like Temu, Shein, and TikTok Shop by selling goods directly from China as well. Analysts say those Chinese retailers, Temu, Shein, and TikTok Shop, have been a direct threat to some of Amazon's core business. And this is an attempt to fend off that competition. So here's how it's going to work. You can access Amazon Haul only through Amazon's mobile app. Shipping is free on orders over $25, but it features much longer shipping times than you're accustomed to with Amazon, with most products delivered in under 2 weeks. Now, the launch is coming just in time for the holidays, when Americans are expected to spend a record $240 billion. That is up more than 8% from last year. Americans are also holding a record amount of credit card debt, balances hitting almost $1.2 trillion in the third quarter of this year. So no surprise that, according to Bank of America, discount retailers are outperforming the broader sector as people look to get more bang for their buck. And the big winner here in this war between web stores could be anyone looking for a deal this holiday season, George.
Well, that's good news for consumers. Thank you, Rebecca. Coming up, the new twist in the Menendez brothers case, what the newly elected Los Angeles DA is saying about the effort to free them.
Plus, 2 major findings about popular weight loss drugs.
And a safety alert about falling trees. The dry and windy weather can make it even more dangerous. Coming up, bringing some magic to your baking, James and Oliver Phelps from Harry Potter are teaming up with Carla Hall. We'll be right back.
I've been waiting forever to do this.
Oh my gosh.
Joan, will you marry me?
Of course I'll marry you.
Back here on GMA, the Golden Bachelorette finds her happily ever after on a beach there in Bora Bora. Joan accepting Chuck's proposal. We're going to hear from the happy couple, and that's coming up in our next hour.
Right now, we're following a lot of headlines. As President-elect Trump presses forward to the transition, he returned to Washington to meet with President Biden in the Oval Office, also traveled to Capitol Hill, as Republicans hold on to the House, completing their sweep. Also right now, Boeing is laying off about 10% of its workforce. The plane maker began notifying about 17,000 employees this week, and they're expected to leave the company by mid-January. It comes after Boeing machinists ended an 8-week-long strike.
And congratulations are in order for Disney chief executive Bob Iger, receiving France's highest civilian honor for exceptional service to the country from French President Emmanuel Macron. Iger wrote on Instagram that the honor, quote, truly illustrates the strong bond Disney has with France. We have always drawn inspiration from this country and its rich heritage. Walt Disney received the honor 88 years ago.
Congratulations, Bob.
Yes.
Well deserved.
Well deserved. And we got a lot more ahead, including why looking up in your yard might save your life or save a life. Ginger had the safety alert about falling trees and how to protect your family. And that is all coming up, George.
Right now, we're going to turn to the Menendez brothers. LA's newly elected district attorney weighed in on their case, spoke with Kana Whitworth, who joins us from Los Angeles. Good morning, Kana.
Yeah, George, good morning to you. So as Nathan Hochman prepares to take over as district attorney on December 2nd, he says for him to make any kind of decision, he would need to read through both trial transcripts, prison records, and re-interview law enforcement and family members.
You really got to get beyond the Netflix documentary.
As calls to free Eric and Lyle Menendez grow louder with promises the pair would be home by Thanksgiving, newly elected Los Angeles District Attorney Nathan Hochman says if the infamous case lands on his desk,
he would have a lot to review before making a decision.
If you decide this case based on just reviewing a Netflix documentary, you're doing a disservice to the Menendez brothers, to the victim family members, to the public.
The former federal prosecutor unseated incumbent George Gascon in a landslide and questions the motivation of Gascon's decision so close to the election.
Part of the problem with the Gascon timing of his decision is there's a cloud over that credibility. Is it a just decision, or was it just a political ploy? There will be no cloud over whatever decision I do.
Gascon denies his support for the brothers' release was politically motivated.
But I believe that they should be released, and they should be released cleanly within the law.
The brothers have spent 35 years in prison for the 1989 murder of their parents, sentenced to life without parole.
I, Joseph Lau Menendez, am destined for greatness.
The recent Netflix drama series and separate documentary propelling the case into the spotlight again.
Young people have taken the time to figure out what happened.
A new generation taking to social media to rally around the brothers, citing their claims of sexual abuse. And while a judge reviews the case, Hochman promising diligence.
And I'm not going to ask for delay just for delay's sake. We'll ask for the minimal amount of time necessary to do this work because we owe it to the Menendez brothers, we owe it to the public to get this decision right.
And so right now, a judge is weighing the alleged new evidence, and a hearing is set for that later this month, as well as a December hearing for the possibility of resentencing. But also, if he wanted to, the governor could grant clemency at any time. Michael?
All right, Kanan, thank you. We appreciate that. And we're going to turn now to a new alert about something so many of us have in our yards, trees. There have been at least 35 deaths reported from trees falling this year alone, and conditions right now are particularly dangerous in many parts of the country. And Ginger is back with an eye-opening look at this issue. Good morning again, Ginger, but this is really dangerous.
Good morning. I've been wanting to do this story for a long time. You see me all the time in storms. I'm standing in front of a tree that sliced through a home, and often it kills people. And one of the deaths that happened this year really hit a nerve with me. It was a 12-year-old boy in New Jersey who died last month in his own backyard. It was windy. He was playing with a friend, but a tree suddenly fell on him. There was not a thunderstorm around. We know that trees are dangerous when there are storms like that, but we're learning that a dead or weak tree can also fall on a sunny day with little or no wind. And with extreme weather fluctuations, like our current drought here in the Northeast after a supersaturated winter, trees are stressed and they're falling more easily.
Watch as a falling tree narrowly misses this 5-month-old's crib. Miraculously, the baby was okay.
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God! It will be for a 9-year-old who had a tree fall on him at recess.
In Missouri, this limb suddenly snapping, not during a storm, but on a nice day, injuring 5 students, 1 critically.
It's a public safety concern.
John Ling is a certified arborist at Friendly Tree, a tree care company in New Jersey.
We're knocking on doors, reminding people to look up and save a life.
Hello.
Hello.
On this woman's property, we find this dead limb hanging right over her fire pit and gazebo.
When you're there, you're with family, you're with friends, you're not focused on looking up and around. The bark is all missing, no leaves, no twigs. When they are that brittle, they could fracture and fall on a bright, sunshiny day like today.
So John's crew takes care of it, right on the spot.
Down the road, we meet homeowner Eric, father of a 7-year-old boy. We called him ahead of time to make sure he was home because what we spotted in his backyard needed immediate attention.
A play structure, a trampoline, children directly under a very dead, very brittle tree. This is an imminent risk. It's not a question of if this tree is going to fail. It's a question of when and how significantly if somebody's going to be there or not.
From way up here, it is so clear to see how dead this tree is. That branch or the whole tree could fall into the drop zone, that playground right in its line. And you've got a little boy that plays here. How are you feeling?
I never think on a day like today where it's not windy, it's a beautiful day out that it could potentially drop, but
absolutely, that's
the part of it what I find the most scary.
John's crew gets to work, removing the entire tree.
If I'm a homeowner, what can I do?
You look up. When you look up and you see something that might not look like it should be that way, a limb that has no leaves, bark that's peeling off, and there's nothing attached, no twigs. We also obviously look for limbs that have already broken and are just hanging precariously. Cracks, any big open wounds. When you see something, say something, as they say.
Yeah. And now with our extreme weather fluctuations, sagging limbs like this could be even more dangerous.
It's called SBD, sudden branch drop syndrome. During periods of extreme heat and dry, the tissue shrinks and can fracture. Issues that we used to be able to manage over the course of years. Now, trees die within a season.
We had 300% of normal precipitation this winter and early spring.
That's right.
And now here we are on what potentially could be the longest dry spell.
That's exactly
tree
it.
Can't adapt.
He says the most important thing is to have your tree inspected by a certified arborist at least once a year, ideally before and after a major storm.
Limbs can fracture during a storm, and they don't disconnect until days later, where it might be bright and sunshiny, or people are out assessing the damage.
But if a storm is imminent and you're worried about a concerning tree falling into your house, experts say consider avoiding areas in your home where the tree could potentially fall, even if it means sleeping in a different room. This is particularly important in the winter. Snow adds weight to trees, and those tree limbs too.
Things are happening up there that affect us down here, and it's a simple thing. Look up.
And here's what most of you are probably thinking right now. Tree removal is way too expensive. Sometimes it could be thousands of dollars. But if you go with a certified arborist, they can often save you money. It might just be that a limb needs trimming or maybe to be held up, and that can just be hundreds of dollars. So it's like preventative medicine. That pruning could save the tree, it could save you the thousands and the cost of the fall if it goes on to one of your loved ones or your home. It's an insurance policy, really. And get this, that yearly checkup is often free.
You know, a tree issue may not always necessarily be your responsibility.
That's the exciting part too, is a lot of these are on the periphery of somebody's yard. Depending on where you live, if a tree is close to the road or you think that it might be in a town or state property, it could be up to them to pay for it. So it's worth looking into. And if you remove a tree, do consider replacing it and look at what's changed as far as what trees work where, as far as natives, because that's evolving too as we warm up.
What do you mean by that?
So like as we warm, the temperature's warm, he's saying that there are trees that we used to say, hey, put these in because they'll last forever. Not anymore.
Ooh, wow. This was so eye-opening.
I hope so.
Thank you for this.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. 2 new headlines on the benefits of the popular GLP-1 weight loss drugs on the market like Wegovy, Ozempic, Mounjaro. Now, one study finding their tremendous benefit in fighting type 2 diabetes, and another study looking at their use for a certain addiction disorder. Well, joining us now, medical correspondent Dr. Darian Sutton and Dr. Stephanie Widmer, who specializes in addiction medicine. We know that you both know each other quite well. Let's start with you, Dr. Sutton. Okay, with diabetes, obesity, and pre-diabetes, the results here are just astounding.
Astounding and remarkable, to say the least. So we heard inklings about these results back in August, and now we have the full results and the full report. So what do we understand? They're looking at those living with obesity and those living with pre-diabetes, living at the threshold of the diagnosis of diabetes, and they found that after 3 years of use of tirzepatide, it's the active ingredient in Zepbound as well as Mounjaro, after 3 years of use, not only was it associated with a reduction in weight, which is to be expected, but it reduced the risk of developing diabetes by more than 90%. When you think about what that means in terms of the millions of Americans who live with this diagnosis, it can provide a pretty significant amount of hope.
Yeah, without a doubt. And Dr. Widmer, let's start with the other study. Let's talk about the other study. It said that some GLP-1 drugs, but not all, may be effective in treating alcohol use disorder.
Right, correct. So this was a very large study that was done out of Sweden, 220,000 individuals with a prior diagnosis of alcohol use disorder. And what the study looked at was these GLP-1 drugs like semaglutide, the active ingredient in Ozempic, and liraglutide, which is a similar drug to semaglutide. And what they found was that semaglutide showed a 36% decrease in alcohol-related hospitalizations in individuals with alcohol use disorder. And liraglutide showed a 28% decrease in alcohol-related hospitalizations. Now, what's really fascinating about this is that these GLP drugs appear to outperform other drugs that already have FDA approval and that we use every day in addiction medicine for alcohol use disorder. But again, this was just an observational study. No direct comparisons were made, so we need to do a little bit more research, some clinical trials before we can draw any concrete conclusions.
And Dr. Sutton, it seems like we're learning about a new application for these drugs every week.
It does. And I'm speaking to a lot of scientists, endocrinologists, obesity medicine physicians about the hopes about this medication and what it can mean in the future. And it's remarkable. We're seeing results in terms of benefiting heart failure, reducing the risk of heart disease, reducing the risk of stroke, even some reports about reducing the risk of dementia. When it comes down to it, these medications are mimicking a hormone, and what we're finding out is that that hormone affects more than just obesity as well as diabetes. It also leads to these other results, and what I'm hearing is that we'll likely hear more results in terms of the benefits of these medications, which we can remain hopeful for, but we want to remain critical about the possible risks.
Wow. It's just amazing. It's amazing because this is like George said, it's like, and the viewers feels the same way. It's like almost every week.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you for explaining the reason behind that.
Of course.
And you guys work together?
In the emergency room.
That's right.
I'll see you soon.
Thank you both. Now with our play of the day and the famous baby hippo back in the spotlight. You got to tell us about
it's
this,
all about
Lara.
the babies today, Robin. Good morning to you all. You guys may remember Mu Dang, the 4-month-old pygmy hippo from Thailand, who became the darling of the internet 3 months ago when she made her debut on Facebook. Look at that little devil. Well, now the little lady is ready to dominate the pop charts. Yes, I said pop charts, with a song put out by the zoo where she lives. It's called Mu Dang, Mu Dang. Here's a little bit of the chorus.
Mu dang wing 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 mu dang wing 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 mu dang wing 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 mu dang wing 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 wing.
Yeah, come on everybody. Not so much. All right, well, there are 4 versions of the song: Thai, English, Chinese, Japanese. Mu Dang was born 4 months ago. She already has a full line of merch and 4,000 visitors a day.
Is this going to take over Baby Shark?
Mu Dang.
I was going to say, I like the baby. I'm not sure about the earworm. Good morning, America. It's 8 a.m. The president-elect's trip to Washington as Trump taps Republican firebrand and staunch loyalist Matt Gaetz for Attorney General. Plus, why Tulsi Gabbard could also face tough questions.
Patrick Mahomes speaking about his home being burglarized as police also investigate a break-in at Travis Kelce's home.
Chock full of love.
I've been waiting forever to do this. Joan, will you marry me?
The Golden Bachelorette Joan meeting her match.
Good morning, America.
We hear from the happy couple. Move over, Robin.
I'm coming to see you, Mama!
Paul Mescal is taking on Hot Ones.
We're big, brave, strong boys.
An exclusive look at his episode, plus why he really decided to join the cast of Gladiator 2.
And GMA at 50 celebrates Baby Oh Baby. For the first time ever, 11 babies were born on live TV.
Sounds like a girl.
Families from around the country sharing that precious moment with millions of GMA viewers.
We ought to put a counter in the lower right-hand corner about how many times I'm going to cry during the broadcast.
Some of those baby TV stars are here this morning, all grown up, and they're saying,
Good morning, America!
Live in Times Square, this is GMA.
Now this is a catchy tune. I'm not sure about the hippo song, but this one's catchy. Welcome back to GMA, and a special GMA moment this morning. More than 20 years ago, oh, look at those precious babies. They were born on live television on GMA. And look at them now, all grown up there in Times Square. We cannot wait to hear from them.
Yeah, looking forward to that. It also had the possible breakthrough in the fight against breast cancer, a vaccine. We're going to have the details for you.
First, look at the top stories breaking today. We start with the latest on President-elect Trump. He's announced more key nominations for his new administration, including Matt Gaetz, controversial for Attorney General. I want to go back to Rachel Scott. She's tracking the reaction on Capitol Hill. Good morning, Rachel.
Hey, George, good morning to you. Yes, controversial indeed, and that's why it has caught so many people here on Capitol Hill off guard. President-elect Donald Trump announcing that he'll be selecting Congressman Matt Gaetz to become the next Attorney General of the United States. And now there are major questions this morning about whether or not Gaetz can get through a Senate confirmation process. If confirmed, Gaetz would lead the Department of Justice, which for years also led an investigation into him for alleged obstruction of justice and also alleged sex trafficking. The DOJ ultimately closed the investigation without bringing any charges. But Gates was also facing another investigation by the House Ethics Committee for alleged sexual misconduct and illicit drug use allegations, which he denies. Overnight, that investigation was brought to a halt when Gates suddenly resigned from Congress. Now, sources tell us the committee was ready to meet this week to deliberate over whether to release a report on Gates. And Gates is not the only nominee who could face some challenges. For Director of National Intelligence, the president-elect naming former Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard, who switched parties and became one of Donald Trump's most loyal supporters. Some senators pointing out she has no intelligence experience. They also question if she's too sympathetic to Russia. And of course, it has been a very busy week here on Capitol Hill. ABC News has now projected that Republicans will have the majority in both the House and the Senate, and Senate Republicans electing their next majority leader, Senator John Thune of South Dakota. Michael.
You said it best. It's been a busy week, Rachel, and you've been on top of it for us, and we appreciate that, so thank you. We're going to turn now to the burglaries at the homes of Kansas City Chiefs stars Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. This morning, we're hearing from Mahomes about the break-in at his home, and Will Reeve is here with the story. Good morning, Will.
Good morning, Michael. This is one of the downsides to a public life on display here. Mahomes and Kelce clearly targeted within hours of each other last month. An investigation is underway.
This morning, superstar NFL quarterback Patrick Mahomes speaking out after a break-in at his home.
It's frustrating, it's disappointing, but I mean, I can't get into too many of the details because the investigation is still ongoing, but obviously something that you don't want to happen to really anybody.
Last month, his home and Kansas City Chiefs teammate Travis Kelce's home were burglarized. According to police reports, on October 6th, just after midnight, 4 police officers were dispatched to a home in Belton, Missouri, just 20 miles outside of Kansas City.
This is going to be for all of the Super Bowl trophies.
The sprawling estate Mahomes recently built can be seen in the show The Quarterback on Netflix.
I'm here to be in Kansas City for the long term, and so I'm excited that I can say I'm a part of Chiefs Kingdom forever now, and that house kind of embodies that.
Police in Leawood, Kansas are also investigating a break-in from October 7th at an address that matches where Kansas City tight end Travis Kelce lives. According to the police, the burglar caused $1,000 worth of damage and stole $20,000 in cash. The police report listing 2 crimes, burglary of a dwelling and criminal damage to property.
That Kelce break-in happening while the Chiefs were hosting the New Orleans Saints on Monday Night Football. And Kelce has talked about having to move and otherwise step up security since he's been with Taylor Swift. This is an issue for people.
Yeah.
Shows why.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Will. Now, promising results in an early study of a breast cancer vaccine. Eva Pilgrim is here with those details. Good morning to you, Eva.
Good morning, Robin. The idea of a breast cancer vaccine is incredible, and while a lot of people are excited, we want to be clear up front, this is very, very early days toward making that a reality. This was a small phase 1 study, so any potential vaccine is still years away, but the results are encouraging. The trial at Washington University looked at 18 women who had non-metastatic, high-risk, triple-negative breast cancer. Following standard treatment, the patients received 3 doses of the vaccine. After 3 years, 16 out of the 18 women remained cancer-free. And this is significant because historically only half of the patients would have been cancer-free. A phase 2 trial is currently underway. There's no timetable set for when that will be finished, but there certainly is an urgency. According to the American Cancer Society, more than 300,000 new cases of breast cancer will be diagnosed this year, and more than 40,000 women will die. Black women are more likely to die from breast cancer than any other race or ethnic group, and that could be because Black women have a higher risk of triple-negative breast cancer, the type of cancer that this study is looking at. So while this vaccine will not be available outside of a clinical trial anytime soon, there's a lot of hope for the future, guys.
There really is, Eva. Thank you. Thank you. We'll see you on GMA3 later. Coming up on our GMA morning menu, we hear first from Golden Bachelorette couple Joan and Chuck on their happily ever after.
Also ahead, Gladiator 2 star Paul Mescal is ready to get into the hot ones hot seat. Robin, he's giving you a run for your money. We have a sneak peek in pop news.
Plus, Tori Johnson is your personal holiday shopper in this morning's Deals and Steals. She has gifts for everyone on your list starting at just $10. And Larry's got some great guests upstairs.
Hi, George. Yeah, Carla Hall is with us. She's with James and Oliver Phelps, Harry Potter fame, of course. So happy to have you here. They're conjuring up some delicious wizard-themed baked treats. We'll explain why coming up on GMA.
Oh, we are back with our GMA cover story. In a season chock full of emotion, the Golden Bachelorette finally found love. Yes, she did. Melissa Adon sat down with the happy couple after last night's finale. Let's say good morning to you, Melissa. How you doing?
Good morning, Michael. So good to be with you all. And let me tell you, Joan, the first Golden Bachelorette finding love in her golden years. Her pick, Chalk, got the first date, the first kiss, and it was no shock. He got the last kiss, and most importantly, the final rose.
Joan, will you marry me?
Of course I'll marry you. Joan Vassos finally finding love again as the first Golden Bachelorette.
I love you, and I want to spend the rest of my life with you.
America watching as she handed out her final rose to Chalk Chapel. Their journey full of twists and turns, all culminating in the season finale.
Every minute I'm with you, I get happier and happier.
I want to marry you, and I want to spend my life with you.
Joan deciding Chalk was her forever, breaking things off with Guy Ganser.
I care so much about you. My heart belongs to somebody else now.
The golden couple joining us just off stage after the live reveal.
We've been in hiding for like 3 months, and we got to spend a lot of time together, just kind of falling more and more in love, getting to know each other, and now we finally get to share it with our friends and family and the rest of the world.
So we have dinner plans for the next 4 months every night.
To go out, because we've been inside.
Good evening.
From the very first meeting, Chalk setting himself apart from the crowd.
I've made my own choconoodle soup.
The choconoodle soup?
Yes.
The two bonding over the losses of their partners.
Just by saying that maybe I'll never be 100%, I don't think I can be 100%.
That was a good way.
And I don't think
because I've got memories.
Joan even supporting Chalk as he dealt with the loss of his mother.
My mother passed away this morning.
God,
Yes.
The pair growing even closer when Joan visited Chalk's hometown in Wichita, Kansas.
I'm falling in love with you.
The couple now focused on blending both of their families.
I always said I was not going to leave Maryland, but I'm actually really excited to spend some time in Kansas, and I never thought I would utter those words.
And I knew going in, before I even met Joan, how important her family was. So it's just been incredibly easy.
Our family, they were kind of like us. We immediately had a rapport, and they did too. It's almost weird, this was so meant to be.
Now they're looking towards the future.
I finally look forward to the next chapter of my life, and I had lost that for quite a while. So I think just living a little bit of a normal life for a bit of time, and then we'll start doing wedding plans.
She's going to marry me.
I am.
She is.
It's true.
It's just a matter of time.
So special. Well, Joan and Chalk are heading now to Disney World. That's where they're going to celebrate their engagement with their blended families. This as The Bachelor is back in January. That's where we're going to catch Grant Ellis on his journey for love in the new year. Guys,
I loved it. I loved it. He's crazy about her. He must have said it 14 times. He's crazy about her.
And celebrating at Disney World. You can't beat that. Take the whole family.
We're wishing them all the best. Hopefully they see Pluto at Disney.
Let's get some pop news.
Let's do some pop. Let's do it, everybody. We're going to begin pop news with the one and only Paul Mescal, the Irish actor, having quite a moment celebrating the London premiere of the new epic blockbuster Gladiator 2. He did that last night, and he also opened up to Variety about why he chose this career pivot. He was known for sort of more romantic roles. He says he wanted to make Gladiator because he played sports growing up. I know what it is to throw myself around. I do look Roman. All of those things. But the thing that really got him was working with the one and only Ridley Scott. He had to do it. The Irishman's also following in Robin Roberts' footsteps, getting into the hot seat with Sean Evans on Hot Ones. Here is a clip from today's brand new episode.
So what would you say the jumps are between these?
All right, this is just me being honest with you.
Yeah, this is gnarly.
This is gnarly.
Yeah.
Okay? Once you have this, nothing is really a challenge anymore.
Okay.
You know
so this
what I
is
mean?
the final frontier, really, and that's
Yeah.
like the coda, that's the end sequence. It's like the film fading out. This is the credits.
Robin, can you confirm?
I'm going to say I can confirm that Sean is a great host.
Yes,
and
a great interviewer.
He is a great interviewer, and I'm sure he pulled a lot out of Paul.
In between your tears, we learned a lot about you.
And I can say Sean has an iron gut because there's no way.
Exactly right. No way.
Yeah. So guys, I got a preview. It's really fun. You should watch it. In between bites, he talks about the movie, he talks about wardrobe challenges, even some Irish slang, Gaelic football. The new episode of Hot Ones drops at 11 a.m. Eastern on First We Feast. That's the YouTube channel. And Gladiator 2, it hits theaters on November 22nd.
Can't
we
wait.
cannot wait.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm definitely going to the theater. All right, so who's ready for a little live country music? The list of more performers for next week's CMAs just came out, and it does not disappoint. It's going to be a good night in Music City because Dierks Bentley is there, Luke Bryan, Chris Stapleton, Thomas Rhett, Lainey Wilson, all hitting the stage. But we just learned this morning that live on the broadcast, first-time nominees Post Malone and Shabuzi will show us why their new songs are both such huge hits. Casey Musgraves and Eric Church also joining the lineup, and Kelsey Ballerini will perform a duet with first-time nominee Noah Kahan. Did you hear that, Kate? Noah Kahan is performing live on the CMAs, right? George is laughing. Our daughters love him. All right, so you will also see Jelly Roll, Brooks and Dunn on this mega concert that also happens to be the biggest award show in music, in country music. Luke Bryan, Lainey Wilson, and Super Bowl champ Peyton Manning are hosting the 58th annual CMA Awards. It airs Wednesday, November 20th. Mark your calendar, set your DVR, 8 p.m. here on ABC.
It's always a great time. The collaborations,
the best.
Off the charts.
The best.
What if you
to
have VHS? Can you?
I'll get you. I'll lend you a tape.
Okay, thank you.
All right, guys. I've just been told from the control room we have gone over on time, so that is pop news.
Thank you, Larry. Deals and Steals, the holidays just around the corner. This morning we have great gift ideas for family and friends. Good morning. Is this cashmere?
That is cashmere. It's not. It is so luxurious, and what I love is that they're all about that luxury, but at an accessible price point. That cashmere doesn't always have to break the bank. We've got a big variety of options. So this one that you're touching here is the signature cashmere, which is really versatile. It can be breathable. So for cool but not super cold weather. Then we have this one here. This is the luxurious version, the luxe version. That's a little bit heavier, and depending on the temperature, could even double as outerwear if you decide to layer it up. We've got a big variety for men and women. Zip up hoodies. We've got turtlenecks, crew necks, big variety, and then also they're really fabulous scarves that are so soft, phenomenal. Everything is 50% off. This is a really big deal.
This is
really
a big
good deal.
Lara has her eyes on this.
Yes, and I heard you two dueling about who is the better tester of these, because you do a pony as well, don't you?
Yes.
Of course. So Elle Erickson, both of you have said that what you like about this is that it doesn't
break your hair.
Doesn't break your hair, which is certainly what we want to have happen. So they're super stylish and comfortable for all day wear. They don't break your hair. They don't crease. They're also in these just adorable, easy, immediate for gifting. Then they have really fun, these claw clips, the jaw clips. But what I love is this little wheel right here. It's just fun. It's a great little gift. So it's all the minis right here. Everything from Elle Erickson Slash and Half starts at $11.
Great gift items
So
here.
fun. All right, this is another fun gift. So this was a picture of us it was my birthday segment, and that was turned by the Letterfest artists into a hand-drawn image. So you could take your favorite photo. I love me some personalized gifts. You could either do a dog, you could do 1 to 4 people, or even a house sketch they'll do. So they do watercolor sketches, and then they also do personalized books where you get to choose a bunch of features of the child, add their name, add a message. Personalized gifts are phenomenal, and these are all half price. You'll get a voucher. You can either gift the voucher, or by November 29th, you have to redeem the voucher to get yours in time for Christmas.
Always a big hit.
Yes, always a big hit. This is Marceline making its GMA Deals debut with their cast iron cookware. Feel how heavy that is. This is a workout.
Wow.
So it's heavy, but it is unbelievably durable. It is for phenomenal cooking. We've got the Dutch oven, We also have the grill pan skillets.
this, yeah.
We've got even the garlic roaster. And what's great about these, it's this octagonal shape so that it's better for nesting. So that if you're buying a few different pieces, it's going to fit easier in your cabinet. These are also gorgeous. These are their knife blocks. So you see when you have your knives, they just attach right to it. They look gorgeous in the kitchen. Everything slashed in half starts at $10.
Okay.
All right, Berghoff. This is a really cool type of bakeware. So if you look, this is a huge 11-piece set. Do you see these little lines along here? This is one of their patented grid systems, and it's going to allow you to use their perfect slicer to literally make perfect slices, whether it's lasagna, brownies, whatever it is that you're baking.
Making it easier for us.
Making it easier for yourself, and it's also non-stick, which is phenomenal, and it's a healthy, environmentally friendly non-stick. We've got a big variety, but they're really known for this bakeware, but all of the options are fabulous, and they're all slashed in half starting at $15.
We're baking a little bit later in the show. Okay.
Fabulous. And then Totally Bamboo, you got a little Key West down there. They have the artists from Fish Kiss design all of these for states to celebrate the towns, the sites, the experiences that make each state great. And then the back is great for your slicing and preparing. Flip it over to serve on this side. These are great, and they're $20.
So practical and so cute.
So
Thank
cute.
you. Thank you. Thank you. You're
Practical and cute, like you.
We have partnered with these companies on these great deals. You can get them on our website, goodmorningamerica.com. Coming up, you remember this baby? Oh, baby.
Oh, baby.
You should see how they've grown up. Come on back.
Welcome back to GMA, live from Times Square.
Welcome back to GMA. So for the next year, we are celebrating Good Morning America as we enter our 50th year. And right now, you're about to meet some people who entered the world live on GMA on two very special mornings that we will never forget.
I know, Lara. We were there when 5 babies were born in 2001, 6 in 2002. We're going to meet some of them again in a moment. But first, let's check out those GMA birth announcements. It was a morning like never before.
For the first time on live morning television, we expect to bring you the miracle of life, an actual birth from one of those delivery rooms, and there's a good chance it's going to happen, and real soon.
Babies born live on our broadcast across 3 different hospitals.
It's a girl. Sounds like a girl.
Including Korma Luna in Boston.
Beautiful little baby. And a girl.
Kelsey Nolan's birth, the first of the morning.
We ought to put a counter in the lower right-hand corner about how many times I'm going to cry during the broadcast.
The magnitude of the moment bringing Charlie to tears.
There is something about that magic moment, and it is magic, when the baby is first there and everybody's getting the first look at a miracle. We were all witnessing something very special and awe-inspiring.
And this Horning baby is about to enter the world.
For Samantha Hornung, sharing her son Jackson's birth on TV,
A little baby boy named Jackson
allowed her out-of-town family to experience the joy.
It really just felt like sharing a moment of really love. It's where emotionally I was just grateful to be able to share the experience with my parents.
Up next, Debbie Shamban, and we were there for the birth of Jacob Ryan.
He's out, baby boy.
The emotion in the room when little baby Jacob was born was just incredible because sure, there were cameras there, but for that family, it was about the mom and the baby.
In total, 5 babies born, their families becoming part of our family. GMA celebrating Mother's Day and the baby's first birthday. And in 2002, 6 more babies born live on GMA, including Harrison Shalar and Ken Weintraub. These little miracles, a big part of GMA history. And there are 6 of those beautiful babies born live on GMA in 2001 and 2002.
Look at that.
And look at them now! Kelsey Nolan, Jacob Shambam, Jackson Hornung, Kamea Luna, Harrison Shalar, and Ken Weintraub. Your moms, your families. I understand your husband is here as well.
So cute.
Wonderful to see the families like that.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah. Hey, thank you so much. Let me start with you, Jackson. Okay?
Yep.
Because I hear that this is how you use this as an icebreaker at parties and stuff like that.
I would say yes. It's the easiest icebreaker to tell people.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many more of you all use this as?
I'll use it with an icebreaker with my clients.
Yeah, with your clients, it's a great opening line.
Right.
How do people respond, Jackson, when you tell them?
Sometimes they don't believe it, and they just think I'm a really good liar, and I'm like, I don't know why anyone would come up with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of people just have questions. You know, why did that happen? How did it happen? So, kind of just goes into a better conversation from there.
Pretty brave of your moms, right?
Yes.
I mean, that was a big decision for them to make. I want to, hi Kelsey, nice to meet you again. We always did this thing where we give the new moms memorabilia to commemorate the birth. We want you to know that you're part of our GMA family forever. Will you please share with everybody what you have?
You still have my baby T-shirt.
On GMA. There's your T-shirt. I'm so glad you saved that.
Yep.
Have you delved into this with your mom, like the thought process for her decision?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the day of, she didn't want to do it, and then the producers talked her into it. And then at 6:50, my mom was ready to go, but the producers kindly asked her if she could wait until 7 because the show started at 7. They said, don't laugh, don't cough, don't nothing. No sudden movements.
Wow, and as a mom, I can tell you that's not easy. All of those things, well done.
Where are you, Amy? Where's the mom? Oh, we're sorry. But thank you. You were true. You took one for the team.
And we got to witness a miracle.
I know, just like that. You said that your husband is here. You guys been married
for a year and about 3 months.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
So in doing this, I think your family said you were destined to be born on television, that it really has shaped your personality a little bit?
Correct, yes.
How so?
It's unbelievable to see how an action or something like this can shape your personality. But in reality, it really did. I'm gonna be honest to you, I don't go out to a corner store without taking a selfie or without recording a video.
Oh, that's so
And I'm
funny.
sorry to my family members. I'm pretty sure they're used to it by now, but what can I say? It's my personality.
You're a little bit of a show
that
person.
camera.
You love the
Loves that
camera?
camera since day one. Here I am. So Harrison, you were our very first.
Yep, in 2002.
Very first one.
Wow.
So what did your mom tell you about the experience?
My mom told me that it was just a last-minute decision as well. She had no plans of doing it, and then the morning of November 7th, they asked her to do it, and then she just said yes. She knew it was meant to be.
Oh gosh! And I gotta say, he looks the same.
Yeah, you do.
You've got the same
Cute
face.
baby face.
How many of you all are seeing this for the first time? Really?
Really? Your parents didn't show you the video?
What?
Have the tape. You don't have the player. Or the,
Okay.
That's understandable. It was quite a while ago.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
And so, how does it feel to be seeing it for the first time?
Emotional. It's crazy.
Yeah. How about for you? Who else was seeing it for the first time?
Yeah, it's like one of those things where you hear the stories, but obviously you're too young to remember, so it's just kind of finally putting all the pieces there together for you, making it all real life for yourself.
I want to ask one of the moms, Debbie.
Yeah.
So explain from your perspective. We've heard from the kids. Can you share with us that this was not supposed to be?
No.
You were going to do a birth with your family, and then you decided to join us. Can you share?
Actually, what happened was they found my brother-in-law in the waiting area, someone from production, and asked him if I would be willing to do this. So he said, you'll have to ask my brother, who's my husband. And funny enough, the night before, I had been at dinner with my husband and a dear friend, and we were chuckling about this because I'd been following the series. And it was like, how funny would that be if
I gave birth tonight on the same day as Super Baby Tuesday.
Yes.
And then so it was.
Oh my gosh.
Totally unexpected.
And was it, did you even notice the cameras in there, or were you so focused?
Yeah, when we got to the hospital, we saw the production crew, and I was like, oh my gosh,
This is
it's
real.
the same hospital. And when they admitted me, they said, we're going to put you at the quiet end so that you'll be by yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, not so quiet, and we're so glad for
Surprise.
it. I'm glad it all
Memories.
worked out. We really do feel like you're god moms, and we know that the onesies that we gave you then don't fit. So we've come up with a little something, right,
Yeah,
Robs?
we did.
Should we have the guys come out?
Let's show 'em.
Come on out.
It's a little bit bigger. Yeah, it's a little bigger onesie.
We have these for you guys. We just want to say thank you so very much.
We really appreciate it.
Can we get a team picture in these, please? Somehow, send us. We need to see you in your grown-up onesies.
Yeah, and congratulations to you all. The way you have grown up, and I hope that you always will feel a part of the GMA family, because that's how we feel about you. Thanks so much. I swear you look just the same, just the same. We'll be right back. Michigan man, yes, up front.
We have all the excitement of Formula One, which is just 1 week until the big event. This segment is sponsored by Visit Las Vegas, and they gave me a preview of all the fun surrounding that heart-pumping race that weaves through the city's iconic strip.
Give it up for Formula One tonight in Vegas!
Formula One is back again. And this time, they're up in the ante.
During that moment,
we took notes and said, what can we do better? What experiences should we bring back? And so you're really seeing the evolution in year 2.
With the big weekend around the corner, I got early access to pit lane and caught up with Formula One's Lori Nelson-Kraft.
Why was it imperative to get F1 back to Vegas? When you marry the thrill and speed of Formula One and you put it in the center of the iconic Las Vegas Strip, that is a perfect marriage.
And the race is just the appetizer.
We've expanded our ticket offerings. There are still some seats that are available at our website or on our mobile app. It's not just racing, but it's bringing the culinary world, entertainment, and all the excitement of Las Vegas into that 3-day ticket.
No one understands that better than renowned chef Michael Voltaggio. He and his brother Brian are back with a collection of world-class chefs at the Bellagio Fountain Club, a trackside pop-up eatery that gives you the best views while you dine.
I feel like we're racing this race ourselves too, because you have some of the best chefs in the world right here in Las Vegas making their best dishes.
And you know I had to race to taste it all, from a gourmet bikini sandwich to this decadent potato croissant. And I say, yes, chef, to this savory treat.
How do you plan the meal?
I look for how do you surprise someone, give them something comforting, and it's still a sporting event. I'll make donuts, but I'll make them savory. And then our friends at Sabatino got us a bunch of truffles, and I'm like, okay, truffles, donuts, cheese, I can do something with this.
Oh yeah, that's good. Wow.
3,000 more to go.
this is a race under the lights.
Sometimes it isn't enough to watch from the grandstands. Our sponsor, Visit Las Vegas, helped to put me in the fast lane.
Most of us will never get a chance to drive in one of those, but you can come right here to K1 Speed at Resorts World.
I suited up to get behind the wheel of the all-electric go-karts.
Oh yeah, time to get that need for speed.
And sweet victory is mine. Amidst all the action, if you want to slow things down, try retail therapy. The Grand Canal shops at the Venetian Resort have more than 160 boutiques and stores. And at the Fontainebleau Resort, expect the epitome of luxury. They have more than 3,000 guest rooms and suites. And if you want to look and feel like a star, the IGK Salon has you covered.
After a long day at the track, just gotta relax.
And just on the hall, you can achieve next-level tranquility at the Lapis Spa. Several saunas, calming pools, multiple massage options, and even a snow shower.
This one is firming and hydrating, lifting.
Wipe your troubles away with a facial, or let your mind escape to far-off destinations in the relaxation room.
I want to live here now. Oh, takes me right back. Thank you so much to our sponsor, Visit Las Vegas, for that incredible behind-the-scenes look. If you want to be part of a unique Formula One experience, there is still time to plan a last-minute visit.
Coming up, we have some magical baking with Carla Hall and the Weasley twins from Harry Potter, James and Oliver Phelps. When we come back, We're back. And we're going to conjure up some fun with our next guest. We have the host of the new Food Network show, Harry Potter, Wizards of Baking, James and Oliver Phelps. They're here alongside Judge Carla Hall. Hey! Hey, thank you all for joining us. I'm excited about this show, actually. James and Oliver, you play the Weasley twins in the Harry Potter movie. Some of the scenes for this show were shot on set and on location where you filmed Harry Potter.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so we were very lucky to be asked to present this show, which we've always wanted to get into presenting, and then to be able to do it at Warner Bros. Studios London, which is where the studio tour is, which has 7,000 people a day go through.
7,500 people a day go through. So we had to shoot. So we had to shoot this show at night, so we could get on the sets, to get on and do it. But it was a great experience.
Why do you think fans are going to love the show?
I think it just incorporates not just a great baking competition element. You're seeing professional bakers at the top of their game, but it's the world of Harry Potter, which so many people love as well.
Yeah, trust me, I'm a Harry Potter guy.
It's amazing. Let me tell you, being on platform 9 3/4 is like none other. I was really nerding out about it.
You're nerding out about it. Okay, well, you know what? You're here. It's a baking show. Carla, we gotta bake something here. We are making Hogwarts Harvest cupcake?
Yes. So we're gonna jump right in. Michael, I'm gonna put you here.
Put me to work.
I'm gonna start with, we're making pumpkin cupcakes. I'm doing, in the flour, I have pumpkin spice, I have baking powder, and I have salt. You're gonna whisk these eggs.
I'm gonna whisk some eggs
here. I'm gonna add in some
milk. What are you two doing over there, man?
Yeah.
Looking good.
They're looking good. I'm gonna add in some butter.
Ooh,
all right.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna add in some sugar. You're doing so great, Michael.
I'm whisking.
I mean, y'all look really good as we're cooking. This is how men should cook, y'all. This is what's up. Okay, and then some pumpkin. We're gonna do all of that. All right. So I'm gonna add the flour to this. And then,
do you want us to just cook these?
Yeah, go ahead and start punching those out.
You two do something.
We'll do something. Yeah, we'll try and do something. Yeah.
All right, so here we go. Michael, this comes together very easily. I love this recipe because you don't need a mixer. You know?
Yeah, you do. You need me.
You need a human mixer.
You need a human mixer.
This is great. So once this comes together, you set it, and then you can look and see how it comes together here.
Okay, it comes together like that?
It comes together like this. I use a scoop. Boom, boom. I'm here. These are super. They're even.
Yeah, I would have been trying to pour it in there.
I wasn't going to let you do it. You know, so you do that, you bake these at 350 degrees. They come together for like 15
And then they come out like that.
Yes.
And then we have some cooked apples, right?
Yeah, we have some cooked apples. We're going to take the center
how do
of
you
these
do that?
out. Oh, I think you should try
some cool little tools here. Let me try that right there.
Look at it.
Oh my goodness, so easy even I can do it. Come on.
Know.
Oh, come on.
What? And you fill that. And then over here, I want to see how you use a piping bag. Yeah, you guys, are you decorating those?
Yeah, you're going to help us decorate.
Yeah, okay.
You're going to help us decorate these cookies.
Here.
So how are your skills in the kitchen? I know you're hosting a baking show. You always wanted to be host. So how are your skills in the kitchen?
They're okay, but to be honest with you, our talent was definitely watching these guys make amazing things. And then we turned into almost like dogs around the dinner table. You know, you turn up with like, you got any spares going on? Yeah, that's kind of how we did it. Yeah.
But we did learn as well that bakers are allowed to make the most mess possible when making. So if you ever get told off at home, you can say I'm a professional baker now. So that's.
I love it. But also decorations. Like you guys over here, you have your decorations. You kind of decorate them any way you want, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like you guys decorate these.
Okay. So what's the best thing? Do we need to put the milk on first, Carla?
Yeah, put the milk on first, and that way your sanding sugar will stick. And we have all of these beautiful colors.
You know what? I just been dropping the sugar on the cookie. Like, why did it not stand?
I know. Go wild. Go wild.
Okay.
Yeah. Go wild. Make a mess.
Okay. Excellent.
Get in there, James.
Oh, you really making a mess.
Oh.
That's too much of a mess.
Oh, wow.
Let me help you out here a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Some light.
Oh, there we go. That's what's up. And then they turn out to that.
They turn out to that,
and then
you added some eyeballs and stuff to it.
Yep.
And the nose.
Crowning glory.
You got a name for it?
That's a little owl. We have some trophy cups, and then we're gonna eat them. Come.
Yeah, okay. That's one over here. Let's get it
going.
All right. You know what? Oh, that's good.
I want to have a whole cupcake.
And the cupcake. Well, can't do a cupcake and still talk, Carla, but.
I know, but that's why I eat so much. You talk. You're
I'll take your word for it. Hey, thank you guys for being here. Carla, thank you for being here. I shouldn't have eaten that. All right. You can get Carla's cupcake recipe on GoodMorningAmerica.com. And Harry Potter Wizards of Baking premieres tonight on the Food Network. Make sure you check it out. Thank you all. Thank you for watching us on this Thursday morning.
You deserve that, Lil. Enjoy those cupcakes. And hey, thank you to our GMA babies.
Yeah.
That was so nice to have them here. They are all grown up.
Have a great day.
Have a good day, guys.